we're gonna weigh ourselves today. A lot of people really worry about their weight, and they worry about the weight fluctuations. Like, why am I fluctuating so much? Yesterday I was this, and today I'm like 2.5 pounds heavier. Why? Well, today I'm gonna show you how much my weight will fluctuate in one day. Let's get into it. It is 9:14, actually no, 9:15 now. On the dot, we're gonna do the first weigh-in of the day. I'm going to weigh in my underwear because, surprise, surprise, clothes weigh a certain amount. I'm gonna have the same underwear throughout every weigh-in just for continuity of the day. And that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna step on the scale right now. Let's see what I weigh. All right, we've got 149.0 for the first weigh-in of the day. Now, about every hour on the hour, I'm gonna weigh myself with some other times in between, after I have some water, after I have some food, after I sit in the hot tub, so you can see how much my weight fluctuates throughout the day. Actually, you know what? Rather than waiting a whole hour, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have this little cup of coffee, maybe a couple sips of water, then I'm gonna weigh in again. I really didn't want to chug my coffee, but for the sake of you two, that's what we're gonna do. I would like to wash it down with a little bit of water, a little Topo Chico. Very nice. I have to poop right now, but I wanna weigh in before and then after so you can see what that difference is gonna look like and also see how much I gained just from having some water and coffee. All right, ready? Oh wow, let's go. 150.4 just from drinking water and coffee. How fucking crazy is that? I gained basically 1.5 pounds just from water and coffee. Is that fat? Of course not. If you have an empty bucket or if you have a bucket filled with water and coffee, which one's gonna weigh more? You're a bucket. Weight is gonna fluctuate up or down based on how much is in the bucket, regardless of whether or not it's fat. All right, now I gotta go poop. All right, let's see. We got a 149.6er. So that was almost a pound of poo gone down the drain, literally. I've already gained and lost a couple pounds just from the beginning of this, just with water and then fecal matter. Now, we're gonna go to the hot tub and see how much weight I lose just from about 30 to 60 minutes of being in and out of the hot tub. Let's see how that goes. Come over here, Mitch. We got 148.4. Now, let's watch this. I was 148.4. Now I'm gonna drink some water and see how quickly I gain it all back. It's a big bottle. Let's see how much I weigh now. 149.4.
You gained a pound.
I just gained 1 pound just from drinking water. Just 1 pound from drinking water. Let's keep going. All right, so we just got back from the hot tub, and I already have showed you now that your weight can fluctuate a lot, like 2 pounds going down to just being in the hot tub and gaining a pound back just from chugging the water back in like 60 seconds. I've shown you that your weight can fluctuate for a number of different reasons and pretty drastically in a very short time frame. But there are so many different reasons why your weight might fluctuate outside of peeing and pooping and eating and drinking and all of that. For example, one of those reasons is your menstrual cycle. If you're a guy, obviously you're not dealing with this, but women, even if you're in menopause, your menstrual cycle can massively impact your body weight, because as you're going through it, you'll have different fluctuations in water retention. Depending on the phase of the cycle that you're in, sometimes you'll weigh more, sometimes you'll weigh less, and it really is very dependent on the woman who's experiencing it. But it's important to know that based on where you are in your menstrual cycle, you might be weighing more or less for reasons that have literally nothing to do with fat loss and solely to do with your menstrual cycle. Keep that in mind. Try not to let the scale get too much in your head. Let's keep going. I've had some watermelon, a little protein shake. Oh, there we go, 150.0. Just up 0.6, not that much. Now I'm gonna go work out. right, we just finished up the workout. I wanted to talk to you about cortisol because throughout this video, I want to give you some understanding of other things that impact weight fluctuations outside of just fat gain or fat loss or even water or food. And cortisol, which is often called the stress hormone, is one of the things that can cause the scale to fluctuate that has nothing to do with losing fat or gaining fat. When you're very stressed, and there could be a number of things that are causing you to be stressed out, your body is going to increase cortisol, and often what can happen as a result of that is your body's gonna hold on to more water. Now, a lot of people have been told if you're really stressed out, you're just gonna hold on to more fat. That's not accurate. It's not the truth. When you are more stressed, cortisol increases, which can increase water retention, which when you look on the scale, you're gonna weigh more, but that doesn't mean you're gaining fat. This is where a lot of people get the idea that increasing stress equals an increase in body fat. That's not true. Think about it this way. For some people, when they get really stressed out, they're super worried. Some people, they eat a lot. That's their response, that's their coping mechanism for stress, and then as a result, they gain weight. But other people, when they get really stressed out, something terrible is going on in their life, they're just super stressed, they don't eat. They don't get hungry at all, and they lose weight. Generally, I've found that it's a pretty 50-50 even split. About 50% of the population will lose weight if they're chronically stressed, and 50% will gain weight. And it's really just a reaction based on, do you overeat or do you undereat when you're very stressed? What's important to remember from this is if you do get very stressed, whether it's work, whether it's family, whether it's whatever the fuck it could be, if you're super stressed out, if the scale is saying that you're increasing weight, number one, you could check your calories, but if it's on any one individual day or even week, the scale might fluctuate up just because you're holding on to more water. And it's very important to understand that. This is also why, for example, sometimes the day after you have a very heavy workout, your weight will spike up, especially a very heavy lower body workout. Why is that? Well, partly because cortisol can increase as a result of it, and then you're gonna hold on to some water, but also because as your muscles have just been like broken down, then they're going to hold on to more water as they're recovering, and that can also lead to more water retention, which what weighs more, a dry sponge or a sponge full of water? Think of your muscles as a sponge full of water, full of glycogen, full of nutrients. It's gonna weigh more. You have that all over your body. So if you have a big workout, cortisol increases and you're holding on to more nutrients, you're gonna weigh more as well. So this is another thing that can impact the scale, and it's another reason why you shouldn't go day to day by what the scale is telling you. You need to look at the trend over a long period of time. All right, so the last weigh-in before the workout is 150.0, and I worked out, I strength trained, did some cardio, walked for a little bit, but I was also drinking water. So I don't know if I'm gonna have gained weight, if I'm gonna have lost weight, I'm gonna stay the same. This will be very interesting to see what this next weigh-in shows. Well, that says 153.4. That was very unexpected. We have changed the flooring that we've been using the scale on. We were in the bathroom, we've been out here, we've been down outside for a little while. That can change what the scale says. That's all I've got for you on that one, but that's just another example of the scale's gonna fluctuate, right? So we're gonna go run a couple errands. Got a couple things I'm gonna do for my wife. Then I need to get a post-workout meal in, so I'm gonna go to Chick-fil-A. All right, so I just finished spicy chicken sandwich, french fries, gonna go up and weigh myself. Before I do, I wanna quickly talk about something else that can impact the scale, which is salt. And the meal that I just had is very high salt, a lot of sodium, right? It probably won't impact my weight today, but what is important to remember about, let's say you have a day in which you eat more salt than usual, the next day, odds are your weight's gonna be higher. Why might that be? When you have salt, salt can hold on to more water. What often happens is people hear this and think, so that means I need to eat less salt. That's not what that means. Oftentimes, if you have more salt than usual one day, then the next day you'll weigh more. Not because you gain fat, but because the salt is holding on to extra water. On the other hand, if you have less salt than usual one day, you'll often flush out more water and you'll weigh less the next day because of that. As long as your blood pressure is in check and you're not eating way too much or way too little, you need it, it's important to have. As long as you're not overdoing it or underdoing it, as long as you're eating the same amount or a similar amount on a day-to-day basis, your weight's not gonna be altered by it. And there's no reason to try and reduce it just to try and manipulate the scale in the same way that you should probably not try and increase it to try and make the scale go up. Not a really good idea. Keep your sodium in a healthy range, and there's a big range for that. It's like just try not to super underdo it, try not to super overdo it, but just understand, let's say you have, I don't know, you go to the movies, you have a lot of popcorn or french fries or whatever it is, the next day the scale might go up, and it has nothing to do with that. It's just because you're holding on to more water. Let's go weigh myself. Let's see what the scale says. 155.4. Wow, let's go. All right, I'm gonna go pee, then we'll see how much I lose from the pee. Just peed. Oh, 155.0. I just lost essentially half a pound just from pee in a matter of like 30 seconds. This is the list of all of it. Yeah, so I started at 149. Right now I'm at 155.0. So what is that? It's like 6 pound difference in just a matter of hours. I'm pretty blown away by this. All right, before we get to the rest of the video, really quick, every single video I do, I pick 3 people to win a free month in my inner circle. The way you enter to win is you subscribe to the channel, you like the video, and you leave a relevant comment on the channel. All right, so right now I'm gonna announce the people who won from my previous video, and those people are Debbie Beamer 4795, Tiffany 7429, and Lauren Nicole 8561. I've left you all a comment telling you how to get your free month. I'm very excited to see you in the inner circle. And if you're not in the inner circle yet, and maybe you didn't win a free month, you can go join sfinnercircle.com. I would love to have you. But if you want to enter to win a free month, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, and I will announce the winners in every single video. All right, so at this point, many people are probably asking why even use the scale. And there's a huge number of people who say you should never use a scale because it's so inaccurate. That's not the case. The scale can be a wonderful tool, and right now I want to teach you how to use it properly. But I can understand why it would look like it makes no sense, because I woke up today around 149, and I ate a little bit, and then after the hot tub I got down to 148.4, then most recently I was up to 155.4. I mean, there's a difference of 6 pounds just, and we're like barely halfway through the day today, and this is where actually we're gonna end it, but just halfway through the day, I've gained and lost a total of about 6 pounds on either end of the extreme. So what I wanna do right now is I wanna explain how you can use the scale and use it as a solid measurement of progress. The first thing that you have to know about the scale is it's going to work best if you have it in the exact same place and use the exact same scale, right? So you're not changing the floors, you're not changing which scale you're using, you wanna have it in the same place every day. The second thing you wanna do, and I'm gonna get into some very more advanced concepts in a second, so keep watching. The second thing you wanna do is you wanna try and weigh yourself around the same time every day. And ideally, I think the best time of day for you to do it is as soon as you wake up, before you eat or drink anything, after you pee and or poop. This is gonna be the most similar point every single day. Now there's gonna be variations, and what you do the day before and what you've done several days before and what you're going through can impact that. So if you had a lot of salt one day, then the next day you're gonna weigh more than usual, and that's okay. If you ended up eating a huge dinner the day before, you're gonna weigh more. If you ended up eating a lot less one day, then that can impact your weight, so you end up weighing less. If you eat less salt than normal one day, you might end up weighing less. So it's important to remember, yes, weigh at around the same time and try to be in the same conditions every single day, but also understand there's going to be fluctuations day to day as well. How do you interpret or read these fluctuations? How are you supposed to know how this works? I'm gonna make it very simple. You do not compare your weight day to day, right? So today, as of recording this, it is Friday, June 16th. I am not, like, I weighed 140, I think 149.0 this morning when I woke up. I'm not gonna look at the scale tomorrow and say, okay, if it's 149.4, then that means I gained 4 pounds of fat. Obviously, we all know from this video already, there could be many reasons why my weight would fluctuate up or down, but I'm not comparing it Friday, June 16th to Saturday, June 17th. That would make no sense. I'm not gonna compare day to day. I'm not even gonna compare week to week. So Friday, June 16th, I'm not gonna compare to next Friday either. When I compare my weights, I compare them month to month. So Friday, June 16th is compared to July 16th. And July 16th, I compare to August 16th. June 1st, I compare to July 1st. July 1st, I compare to August 1st. I do it month to month. I track every day. I get my weight every single day, but I don't compare until it's every single month. This way, I can look at my weight trend over time. I have a whole graph. It's part of the inner circle. We have a whole app in the inner circle that shows you your weight graph. And so you can see, all right, maybe I fluctuated up here, I went down here, but at the end of the month, what is the trend of the line? Is your trend going downwards? Is your trend staying the same? Or is your trend going upwards? And the reality is any individual weigh-in is more or less irrelevant. But when you can get 30, 60, 90 data points of your daily weigh-ins, now you can have a very solid idea of what direction is your weight going. This is the same thing with the stock market, right? It's like, listen, if any one individual day of stocks doesn't really tell you much about your investments, but when you look at them over the course of a year, 3 years, 5 years, you can start to see, oh shit, this is trending in the right direction, or maybe it's trending in the wrong direction. Maybe you need to change your investment strategy. Same exact thing with your weight. Just because you don't know what's going on, just because any individual day is a bad representation of what's happening, it's just not giving you enough information. In the same way that reading one page of a book doesn't give you much information about the book. You need to read the entire book, and it's split into chapters, and each chapter you grow. Think of 1 month as a chapter of your weight trend. The next month is another chapter. The next month is another chapter. And you compare these chapters sequentially rather than trying to compare it. Like, imagine if you just read 1 page and then you skipped 50 pages and went to the next. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. You need to read it sequentially and look at the trend over time. That's how you use the scale. Try and measure in the exact same circumstances and as similar circumstances as possible every day, but you don't compare every day. You don't compare every week. You don't compare every 2 weeks. Compare month to month. And when you do this, you'll have a much more accurate representation of your weight trend over time. Before we end this video really quickly, I wanna make sure you're signed up for my email list. If you are not on my email list, you can sign up. The link is in the description. Every single video, I pick 10 people who are on my email list to win a free month in the Inner Circle. All right. Now, if you're already on my email list, you don't have to do anything. You're automatically entered to win. If you are not on my email list yet, click the link in the description, sign up, and I will announce 10 people who won a free month in the Inner Circle. What I will do is I will email you directly. So if you win, you will know because you'll have an email from me personally with instructions on how to claim your free month in the Inner Circle. With all that being said, I think that's the end of this video. I'm gonna hang out for a little bit with my wife and daughter. We're gonna go out to dinner tonight. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope this sort of calmed you down in regard to how to read the scale, in regard to understanding what weight fluctuations mean, and understanding that the reality is, like, your weight's gonna fluctuate all the time, like all throughout the day for any number of reasons. So don't get too caught up on any one individual weigh-in or 2 weigh-ins or 4 weigh-ins. Think more about it from a global perspective. Look at the trend over time. If you have any questions, leave in the comment section. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon.